It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
In the studio with us, though, is Peter King, Ed Cox, Judge Weinberg, and also we are lucky enough to have the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Chairman Mike Turner. Joining us now is Andy McCarthy, the former assistant U.S. attorney for New York in the Southern District. Andy, we got a full house. We got a great house here. Yeah, we do top notch, Andy. And boy, there's a lot to talk about on the legal front. Big discussion today because Jack Smith wants to have a partial gag order on Trump. You can't make it up. This is in the Florida classified documents case. Because guess what? I guess a gag order from New York is not enough on President Trump. I mean, what? Is there like any other word that he could say? How many more people want to chime in? Andy, your thoughts? It's really incredible.
Yeah, well, I thought from the beginning, Rita, that, you know, if these judges were really concerned about the administration of justice in their cases, the easy thing to do is postpone the trials until after the election. That way you don't have to have a collision between administering a trial and the First Amendment rights of a candidate to campaign for office and of the public to have an election and a campaign that's free of impingements by the judiciary. And the New York one, the one down in Florida is ridiculous, but the New York one, I mean, why do they still need a gag order on Trump when the trial is over, so there's no excuse about administering the trial, and the judge in that case is going to sentence Trump on July 11th? I mean, if that isn't – I mean, how much more leverage could Judge Merchan have over Trump than the fact that he's going to impose a sentence on him on July 11th? Why isn't that enough encouragement to Trump to behave himself within the lines that the court has prescribed? Why there has to be a gag order of such dubious constitutional grounding is bizarre to me.
Yeah, it seems so shocking and un-American, especially as you bring up in the middle of the presidential season here and the campaign. You got the debate. I mean, it's shocking that you can muzzle a candidate who's the leading candidate. Chairman Mike Turner.
I just think it's an incredible point that you made of that, you know, when the case is over, you don't have that statements can have a presidential outcome or effect. And in this instance, you know, what are they going to put these in perpetuity? Are they going to, when he's president of the United States, if he's elected, have a continuing gag order?
Yeah, that's a great point.
This is
right.
This clearly is an effort to muzzle him, not an issue with respect to justice or the administration of justice.
Yeah, PK.
Yeah, Andy, this Friday, I assume the Supreme Court's going to come down on the immunity case. How do you see that going?
I think they're going to grant a limited immunity. It won't be as sweeping as what former President Trump is asking for. And I think I keep going back, Pete, to the oral argument back in April, because Justice Barrett and Justice Kagan got some concessions out of Trump's lawyer, John Sauer, that some of the stuff that's in the indictment just is not covered by immunity. However the court defines the scope of what presidential immunity is, they conceded that some of the behavior that's charged in the indictment is what they would call private rather than official acts. I think that if there's enough of that, like if there's enough stuff that the Supreme Court says is private or that they've conceded is private, what I think may happen is that Jack Smith could try to scoop that up and push that part of the case to trial prior to the election. If he decides he's going to fight over immunity, like if the court sends the case back to Judge Chutkan and says, hold hearings so that we can figure out what stuff is public behavior or official acts and what stuff is private, then that's going to be a live immunity issue, and there's no way that case will ever get to trial, which I think is what former President Trump wants. But if Smith really wants to get to trial, he'll leave that stuff on the cutting room floor and just try to get to trial on the things that they've already conceded are not covered by immunity.
All right. Well, Andy McCarthy, thank you so much for your great perspective. We love having you here on the show. It's certainly going to be a busy week in the courts on all of these issues. Wow. Thank you so much, Andy. We appreciate it.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.